Today we're going to be talking about auto-deleting. Now I have to refer to it as that because TikTok is not going to allow this video to stay up if I were to actually discuss it, even though what I'm discussing is a very good, important thing for people to be aware of. TikTok is softer than a cloud, so we need to make sure that we're using these little words and phrases, so we have to refer to the action as auto-deleting, or auto means self, deleting means deleting. So I wrote this book. It's called How to Beat Depression with the Bible by Taylor Johnson. I want to read you a very small part of it. When your relationship with life is constantly getting interrupted with the temptation of death, the only way to make that marriage strong is to love your life more. Death looks truly and unapologetically sexy in so many ways to someone who is deep in the darkest ruts of their personal pit of depression. As death lies before you in lingerie, holding a bottle of sleeping pills and a bottle of bourbon, it can be nearly irresistible to lean in and get a taste. But guess what? Death has herpes. While death can seem so tempting at the moment, it's only going to lead to further problems. It's an all-or-nothing excursion into eternity that forbids us from ever returning to the life that we married. Those who fall victim to this temptress are often those who don't know God. In such cases, their lives would have been so much better even if their life was pure agony and misery when compared to an eternity in hell separated from God. While it is not a one-way ticket to hell as many false religions teach, like Roman Catholicism, most of those who take that path find that destination because they don't have their faith in Christ alone. The question now isn't how do we make death seem worse? The question is, how can we make life seem better? Simply put, by making it more enjoyable and exciting. Though death can look like a tempting new voluptuous lover, we must remember that being loyal to life is the better alternative. Life, while being familiar, can still excite us, can still surprise us, and can still please us. Every new journey in life can be one that is full of adventure if only you let your mind view life through that lens. Life is that stable lover that we have known since childhood. She's that girl we saw ourselves growing old with. She's the one that is always waiting for you to come home, passionately enthusiastic to see you. God gives us such beautiful gifts in this world, none greater than His grace. Simply, we need to take the time and make an effort to alter our perspectives into letting us view everything as a gift from God. Looking back at the life I've lived thus far, I've been able to view everything as a gift, and I have thanked God for every single moment. The tragedies that I have lived through have actually been some of the greatest blessings I could have possibly asked for. Despite being disguised as a curse, life can be full of tremendous springs of joy that blend in with the hurricanes. We all want our lives to be better, so keeping with the same metaphor, the best way to better a marriage is to spend more time together. Focus on life and make her feel special, and she will reciprocate the effort back to you. Life isn't the old ball and chain. She's the girl of our dreams that we must love vehemently. Love her with a passion and plan out the relationship with her so that the end looks even more beautiful than the beginning. Those who find themselves overly depressed to the point that they feel so desperate that they just want that change. They want to experience death just because it's different than life that they hate. It is truly a tragedy. And just in the exact same way that someone is going to commit adultery by having a false god rather than worshiping the real God, the same rule applies with life. That whenever you choose death, you are cheating on life. You are committing adultery, and that is irreversible. So what does the Bible teach about auto-deleting? Well, quite simply, the Bible forbids deleting. It forbids backspacing people with malice aforethought. Deleting someone who is attacking you, that's self-defense, that's very different. Or if someone breaks into your house, that's self-defense. If someone is harming someone else and you are defending them and that person ends up succumbing to their injuries during such an altercation, that is defense of a third person. All of those, even war, is looked at in a not sinful manner in the eyes of God. So that word that we see in the Ten Commandments is ratzach, and it literally means the M word that I also can't say on here that I have to refer to as mukduk. And if you auto-delete, then that means that you hate yourself so much that you are actually going to maliciously commit mukduk and adultery simultaneously. So is auto-deleting sinful? Extraordinarily so. But say, for example, you have a severe addiction to something that is actively deleting you. Say that addiction is to alcohol. Say it is to heroin. Say that addiction is to sugar, which is arguably just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than the previous two. You are actively deleting yourself by indulging in that, by not taking care of yourself. You're doing that and not taking care of yourself out of hatred towards yourself. All of this coming from a person who contemplated that very act for a very long time. Now, while most people that take that route, they don't find their way to God because they were not in Christ whenever they took the action. There are exceptions. For example, say there is someone who is schizophrenic. They have a very severe mental disorder that prohibits them from thinking clearly whenever they're episodic. And say this person is an actual, very strong biblical Christian. But say they run out of medication and they don't get the refill in time. And so their brain starts going off into an episode that leads them down a road where they end up auto-deleting. Is that a sin that they can still be forgiven for? Absolutely. Because even sins as bad as that is still forgiven on the cross. Jesus took that sin upon himself and he paid the wage of that sin for you. So can you still be forgiven for that? Absolutely. The problem is that most people who do that are not going to be Christian. And the other problem with that is that you are committing mukdak against yourself, against an image bearer of God. It's a horrible, horrible tragedy. But if you have a loved one who did that, if they had their faith in Christ, you will see them again. Same with anyone who dies in any way. If their faith is in Jesus Christ alone, you will see them again one day. And that's why it's so painful whenever we have people that we lose that we don't think that they had their trust in Christ, or we're pretty certain that they definitely didn't. So we don't have a hope to see them again. And that is tragic, that is horrible, and that just hurts my soul. Nonetheless, you're not allowed to quit. So take steps, learn to love your life more than the idea of death. That is how you beat depression with the Bible. Available everywhere, and signed copies are available on my website at taco-talks.com. Thank you guys. God bless.